Okay, so thank you everybody for coming. Like Joe said, we're gonna do a quick intro. Kevin will do an intro. I'll do some housekeeping and we'll do some more stuff and try to help you make your trade show a big success for this one and other trade shows. So first up, Kevin Dulio.
Our
Thank
president,
you
of
very
the
much.
NJCSE.
Thanks for getting on the call today. Kevin Dulio from Native Fields Landscaping and the president of the NJLCA. We appreciate everybody that's on the call today, and we're hoping for another successful show. So here's a little introduction to the show, and Pat has a lot of stuff to go over today, which is great, and also Gail. So
And Joe.
we will let them take it over. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me just jump into a couple of housekeeping items. I did send out move-in times for everybody this morning. If you have any issues or you didn't receive it, you can shoot me an email, info@njlca.org, and we'll figure it out. Either I'll send you your time or we'll figure out what we can move around. Hopefully not too much moving around. I do want to show you the way to get in when you are loading in on the day of setup. Let me just share this.
Just give that quick brief for people who don't know, that are new, that don't know what that is.
Well, that's
A
what I'm doing.
setup day or all that kind
Oh,
of thing.
so we set up the day before the show. As I said, I set move-in times for everybody. That keeps it organized so that we don't have somebody blocking somebody that's further back that needs to get in first. So that's why we try to keep it pretty much sticking to those times unless there's extenuating circumstances. When you come in off of Center Grove Road, you'll come into this entrance. If you come in the other entrance, you can just come around from behind the attendee parking. But if you come in this entrance, if you're in the demo area, you load in right here. You come through, this is where our demo area is. If you are doing an inline booth, you're going to go down to this entryway, come down to here, and you'll unload over here. As I said, the early people will be starting at the bottom and we'll move up as the day goes on. So if you're here, you're going to be later in the day for setup. That was the move-in. Any assistance you need the day of the show, and I'll send this out in an email as well. You can always check with me or Pat Barquette, Joe Bolognese, Kevin. Somebody will find you who you need to talk to about whatever the problem is. And I'll also send out my cell phone if you need me and you can't seem to find me that day. All right, so that's the load in. Here's the move-in times. You don't have to memorize this or screenshot it. Like I said, I sent them out. But if you need your time, absolutely let me know and I will get it to you. Finally, I just want to do a quick, well, you know what? I'm going to send it over to Pat for a minute because we'll do the marketing at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then. Hi, guys. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Patrick Barquette. I retired recently in February from Bobcat of North Jersey as their Director of Sales and Marketing. Was with the company 33 years and have been a member of the NJLCA since 1983. So I've had a lot of experience working with them, and my very first trade show with them was back in 1984. One of the things that we have found that this is one of the most successful events we've ever had, this and our February show. And we want to make sure that this one really becomes a regional show where everyone can show off all of the different products they have to offer. And we figured this would be a great way to do it. Every 6 months, we're doing a show of some sort, whether it's outside or inside. One of the things that we talk about all the time is how do we really attract people to our booth and to our demonstration area? So Joe Bolognese came up with a great idea, was to put together a video giving you some pluses, minuses, do's, don'ts, should be, shouldn't be things once you have gotten to the trade show and now you create your booth. So Joe, if you want to take it from here, please do.
Okay, I will. And thank you, everybody, for joining in with us this great afternoon. So, yes, like Pat said, so for those of you who don't know myself, my name is Joe Bolognese. I've been in the industry as a distributor since 2000, working for several large corporations. And yes, Pat and I both together have been huge attendees of trade shows. So we thought, our experience would help you guys. And I know people say, I've been to a lot of trade shows, yeah, whatever. I've been to a lot of trade shows, so I know what's going on. This is our cumulative of like 26 years of trade shows. So we've done it. We've been there. We've been where you have been. I've been a vendor. Pat's been a vendor. We've also been attendees. So we know what we see and what we've done and what we've tried. So what we've put together with the help of myself, Pat, Gail Wolcott, the executive director, and Maria Albuquerque, our assistant in the office, we put together a series of small clips. The maximum time on one of them is 5 minutes. So this is going to be short stuff, but it's going to be to the point. We're going to show you a series of videos on some don'ts first, some things that could possibly go wrong in your booth, maybe some design strategies and features that may hinder you from gaining the most you can out of the customer that walks by. And then we'll show you a series of corrections that will maybe give you some good ideas for going into setting up your booth for the next trade shows. All right, so Gail, if you run the first video. And after we see the videos, we're going to do some questions and answers. Okay, so as we saw in that first clip, you had a potential client or customer come to the booth, and what we saw there, or what I can describe to you, was two attendees of the booth that were unattentive to the customer coming through, barely even said hello. I think it was just a short wave by Pat. Everybody was on their phones, and it was not an inviting scenario for the customer to come into. We're also going to go over a few of the next ones with the booth design, some of the things that are in the booth that were hindering to offering the client a one-on-one experience to discuss some things, products and services that you may have that client didn't even get a chance to see because they weren't even greeted, or there wasn't even a really good friendly hello and a handshake. So let's open it up right now. If you guys have any questions, raise your hand, use the raise your hand feature, and Gail will open your mic and you can ask a question. And or if you'd like, you can type your question in the chat if you don't want to speak out loud, and Gail will reiterate it to us and we'll discuss it. So is there any questions on that, or handshakes or anything on there, hand raises? Okay, so we'll move forward. We'll play the next one, Gail.
Hi, how are you? Look, all right. Sorry. If you want, just look around. We have stuff back there. Do you like our tent? Oh, wait. Can you have any questions? Yeah, thanks. Hey man, how are you? I'm doing nothing. How's it going? Yep. Mm-hmm. Cool. You know what? If you have a chance, give me a call later. Yeah. Pretty dead. Nobody in the booth.
So as we can see there, we had a number of issues with that booth setup. Obviously, there was a safety issue, and our good actress Maria caught me even off guard filming that. I thought she was really falling. So there's a trip and fall hazard right away. Number two, as you can see, the table's right in front. There was no access for that booth for people to get in to read any signage you may have in there, or actually see a piece of equipment. So it was uninvited. It was blocked off by that table being in the front. And then again, you saw the non-attentiveness of the people in the tables, barely speaking to the person in the booth, interacting, engaging with them, quickly going back to the phone, discussing some TikToks they may have seen or things like that. So The attention span needs to be, I mean, you guys, either yourself, the owner, or you, the worker, your company's paid for that booth. So take advantage of having that booth and having that access to almost over 2,500 people that walk through that trade show daily, and access them, interact with them, invite them in. So we're going to go through the next video. This one's a little longer. It's only 5 minutes, but it's going to show you all of the wrongs that are in that setup that we created. Now, yes, a lot of them are exaggerated. Yes, a lot of them are no dust. Some of them are just common sense. But you'll be surprised, myself, Pat, Gail, and all of us that walk around the trade show, how many of those things we still see today done that can be avoided. So let's go to the next video and let's walk through and listen to each point that I'll make for you to show you all the things that were wrong in that scenario. Okay, so we're going to go through some of the booth that we have set up here, that why some of these things are wrong and what they're doing or not doing for your clients. So as you can see, first of all, you have your tent set up. If you do have one, you may not have one, but obviously we have a string in the way, which is dangerous, number one, and number two is unsightly, which that needs to be taken care of, especially the other one on the floor. Somebody may trip on that. The other thing that you're looking at right now are some bags that are on the sides. Definitely trip hazards, as you can see in the last video, and those should be hidden and out of the way. We're gonna go, we have the remnants of the tent, which are here in the way, tripping hazard, and probably should not be in that spot. Again, another thing that should be wrapped up, hidden, or even put maybe in the trailer and left there till the end of the show. Now we're gonna take a look at the table. The first problem we have with the table, if you look, is it's right in the center of the booth. So absolutely no one, unless they're gonna trip, can get into your booth to see any products or banners or services that you have to offer. So it's completely uninviting. It's blocking off everyone, and it makes for an easy grab and go. So people will just grab something and leave and not even speak to you. The second point is the plethora, or what I like to call the information overload. So you can see, first of all, you've got drinks, food, and although yes, we are human, we need to eat, we should do those out of sight and out of the product area so that we're keeping the table clear and clean. The other thing you can see here is the plethora of information that after a while, as we know, gets spread out and sprawled on the table, which can be in the way. We'll discuss that further with literature and how much of it you should have on the table. Tissues, napkins, all of these things should be hidden under the table and out of the view. If you do want to leave some candies or foods, very minimal. You don't have to put the whole overload on the table. Keep some under the table and put a small bowl out and refill it as time goes. But you want to keep yourself inviting. You want to keep your booth inviting so people can actually see what really we're not really noticing. If you look in the background, there's our name, our products. They're not even being visible or and accessible for people to go to see those signs, to read what you have to offer. You want your booth to be inviting, to let people come inside. You also want to make sure your signage is readable, visible. Have them printed. Have them made to a size that's easily seen by the eye. Even if people are not going to come to you and pass, at least they can read what you have to offer, so that if it is something that catches their eye, they'll come in and see you and ask about that product. Keep all your travels and travel items out of sight, either stored away under the table or in the trailer until the end of the show. And as you can see from this view, I can't access anybody out there. The first thing you should do is greet them, shake their hands, introduce yourself, then find out who they are. That information is viable and valuable to you. And you can't really get that by sitting behind a table and having a table obstruct that access to the customer. So these are all the things in here that you can see that would make for a incorrect setup for a trade show booth and we will go into detail and discuss each one of these items. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna open it up. I don't know if there's any hand raises. I can't see that, Gail, but you'll tell me if there are, or if
Don't
there's
see
any
any just
questions. Okay, so obviously you can see through the walkthrough there were several different problems with that type of setup. I know there's a lot of people. I mean, probably more than 50% that put the table in the front because they show, you know, and there's some great setups. There's some, you know, I remember some of the ones where they have little mini dump trucks with mulch inside of it. It's great. It's wonderful, but it doesn't have to necessarily be right in front and you behind, so that it's either a really big stretch to say, how are you? How you doing? Which we'll go over in the correct video as that comes up, but there's ways to greet them and still have your table accessible, still have them see the offerings that you have. But you've got a 10 by 10 booth or bigger. If you're buying a couple of them, use the space, you know, fill it up with a couple of things. Doesn't have to be a lot. Bring in a new product or a product that maybe you want to show as a show special and give a special discount for that day's show. Put that on your floor and let them come into the booth and see it, where the two of you can stand and talk about it and discuss that product. So obviously, listen, we all eat at the trade show. We all have snacks. Keep them hidden. Keep them away. Keep them out of sight. You know, it's rude to eat in front of people or to talk with your mouth full. So you definitely want to make sure you just keep those to the side, or even if you have to, work on a schedule. Leave the booth with one person running it and another person goes for lunch, or vice versa. And this way you're not eating in front of the customer and it's rude and unsightly. And again, Pat is going to go into some more detail about what I've coined as information overload, because sometimes they put so many pamphlets and so much information. They have to see, I mean, there's, how many vendors do we get at our February trade show, Gail?
Oh, it's over 250.
Over 250 vendors. So they're seeing a plethora of people. They're going to have bags of information. You want to keep it simple. You want to, you know, maybe the great idea, I think, is a folder. And then if you have pamphlets and leaflets, stuff them into the folder and you give them one folder. Bingo. But keep your table clean and to the minimum. We'll show you that in the next video. Any questions, any raised hands about the video we just saw, or some of the issues that are there, or any I may have missed in the walkthrough?
I see no hands and no chats.
That's good. That's good. Then we're getting great information. Even if, guys, it may seem simple and it may seem, you know, it's, of course it's generic. You could pick one thing out of this today and take it with you. It's one more thing you've got to help your booth be successful for the trade show. All right, so let's move to now a video that will show the correct, or one of the correct ways to do this. Okay, so now we have our example of what is a good booth setup. So as we can see here, we have both Gail and Pat, and they're standing a little bit out of the booth to the sides, still letting the inviting center open, but they're ready to engage with the customers that come down the aisle and meet and greet them and entice them into speaking with them for a little bit about some of the products and services they offer. So this is a great place to stand. It's keeping traffic clear, but it's also having them out and inviting them in to greet them and to warmly shake their hands and have them engage with them. So now we'll go over some of the booth that we have. And as you can see now, the table is not in the way, it's not blocking, so the entrance is inviting to come inside. We have a table for some literature, so it's to the side, so it's available so people can come up to it and gain some information, possibly take a business card, and even use the display to sit down or to lean on to write down some information if need be. We have very limited information. because we don't want to cause information overload and load them with tons of information that they're not probably going to remember from that day. So we have a simple magazine, we have a membership brochure, maybe a postcard that has information on day of show sales that you're running. If you are an award-winning company, show those awards off. Put them in the center of your table and let them know that you're not just any company, but you're an award-winning company. Having a table cover is also an excellent idea, because as we saw in the last video, we had a problem with extra storage space. Bags and things were all over the place and were tripping hazards. Now we have a place to keep all the bags, all the extras hidden away, but is still easily accessible to the vendor. We also have now an open booth. So now it's inviting. We can bring people in, have a discussion off the side and not block traffic out in the aisle. We do still have a chair or two because we are human and we do need to rest. But here they are out in the back of the booth, hidden away, still in the easily accessible area for somebody to sit and rest. And if someone comes, they can easily get up and come out and greet themselves and greet the person. A backdrop is always a great thing to have. It's a simple way to communicate who you are, what your business is, what your company offers. And if you have a small banner, you can easily put it up on an easel. And make sure when you have it done, either have it done drawn nicely or have it printed. And this would also be an excellent idea to have maybe a show special sign put up on a product or service that you're going to give a special discount for the trade show. So now as we see, and we turn to the outside of the booth, it is inviting. We can see the traffic line. And by having no table here, we're not blocking anybody. And at this access point, we can now see people coming this way and people coming this way. So this would be an ideal setup for a booth to invite people in and to maximize your sales and profitability for the day. Okay. So again, the hand raising is open if anybody has any questions. So there we saw some better ways to design your booth so that it's inviting, traffic can come inside, you can entice people inside, you still had a place to put information if you needed to on a table, or even sometimes people have miniature demos they want to put on the table to show their products. Do so. That's great. Again, just keeping in mind you don't want to cause information overload, but having the table on the side now makes your booth a destination, a center to come into. And you on the floor could even bring, if you guys use or sell plate tampers, bring in a plate tamper, put it on the floor. You guys can now walk in and say, hey, here's our plate tamper. Take a look at what we've got. It's accessible and it's inviting inside. And again, there's ways, like I said, the table cover, it also showed your logo. So that's a great way to advertise for free and create storage for yourself that's out of sight, out of mind. So all that stuff can be hidden under the table and nobody sees it, but it's accessible to you for when you need it. Again, the positioning of where Pat and Gail were standing is ideal. We're not blocking traffic, but we're right up front with those people. We can see them as they come in. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Come on in. Let me talk to you for a second. It's very inviting. You're right there in front of their faces. There's nothing blocking in between you. And it feels like you're ready to engage with them, not sitting behind a table and on your phone and not really caring who they are. Again, you paid for the day, so get the most out of it. Bring those people into your booth, start those conversations, hand those business cards out, and make follow-up days. They don't have to spend the hour or so that you want to sit there and talk with them about stuff. Get a brief instance, let them know what's going on, tell them about a show special and give them a business card and say, hey, what are you doing next Friday? You're free? I'd love to stop in and continue this when you have some time. Then you can go ahead. They don't feel so rushed into making a judgment and your foot is in the door. And that's what we want. We want you to build relationships with new clients. We want you to secure the ones that you have with others. And where in the world for one day are you going to get mostly all of your clients coming to you for a reason? They don't come to your store every day, but here they're going to come to your booth all the time. You're going to see most of the people you design with or sell to every day in one spot. So you want to make the most of that transaction. Any other questions out there or hand raises?
Not seeing any.
Okay, well that's good. I'm hoping that you saw those videos and got some great ideas for what not to do and what to do at your trade show booth. If you have any others or you have questions, you can always contact myself, Gail, or Pat at the association. Even during setup day and during the trade show, you can always come in and help out. So with that, thanks very much, everybody, and we'll send it back to Pat and we'll finish up the other side of this.
Thanks, Joe. That was great. It was an incredible amount of information for you guys to use, and it's all going to be, I think, sent out to you as well, the videos, just so you can take a look. I know that we did maybe a little bit of an exaggeration with the bad booth, but trust me, from my years of experience and Joe's, I've seen it all, and people will do the same mistake over and over again. So just be aware of a couple quick things. You know, first, arrive at the show an hour before. Make sure you are ready to go. Make sure that, you know, you have your booth ready, it's clean, it's set up just the way you want it. What Joe mentioned earlier, a simple handout is all you need to really attract attention. Four things that I always had my guys do, and it's really simple. Make sure of these four things: get their name, the customer's name, you know, get their email address, their phone number, and the company. So many times people just forget that, and you'll have that opportunity. You can use that list to become one of your contact lists as time goes on for any event you may have down the road. A simple one, but sometimes we forget. Dress comfortably, but make sure it's clean and it's professional. If you have logo shirts, logo hats, it's a great time to wear them. And you know, this way it sets you apart from everyone else. When I said about the handouts, Joe hit it on the head, and I hate to say it so bluntly, but people really don't care about your stuff that you want to hand out. You need to make sure it's something that is going to catch their eye. One piece of paper, maybe even a double-sided, to give them information on your company and maybe a special that you'd like to, you know, possibly promote. Remember something very simple. 90% of this show or any show is just showing up and making you sure you show you that you care. That more than anything else. And if I could say one last thing, especially in the static area, less is more. When I say less is more, listen to what your customers are saying. We all have plenty to say. We could talk for hours, but let them do the talking. Let them come to you and say what they are interested in. You learn a lot from them. It's invaluable information that I hope that what we're passing on to you is great. Last thing is anyone who is in the demo area, the most important thing you need to be doing is making noise. That means your machines need to be running. You need to be showing people how to use them. Make sure you're getting them into the machines. That's what attracts people is when they hear machines running, they come running down to you like, what's going on down there? I want to see what's happening over there. And that's what makes this show so popular. I truly believe that within the next couple of years, this is going to turn into a regional show. And when I say regional, we're going to be attracting everyone from New York, from Pennsylvania, from Connecticut, and from even down south as far as Maryland. And we've had them at our show in February. And this show will be nothing different than that. So with that, I turn that back over to Gail, and thank you guys for letting me speak.
I'm just going to run it back to Joe for a second. He had one last thing to add.
So just a quick thing. I know at this trade show in August, we don't necessarily do anything called themes. We do them at the February show just to try to change things up. There you go. You can see some of the past costumes of mine. But themes are a great way to have some fun, get your people and your customers involved in a fun way. You know, it doesn't have to be all serious and pomp and circumstance. You can have some fun. And just because the August show doesn't have a theme, and maybe that's not, you know, something we'll do, doesn't mean you can't in your booth. You can design your booth any way that's going to attract attention and bring people over and get them involved in talking with you. You know, you can say my booth this year is going to be popcorn themed, and you're going to give out some little bags of popcorn, and you're going to design little popcorn strings and just a little something to separate you from the rest. You can do so. Have fun with them. Look, you can see all the different ones we've done: Casino Night and America the Beautiful. So just because we don't do that at this August show doesn't mean you can't in your booth. You can always dress up, design, get whatever makes the person enticed to coming to your booth. You can have fun with it. All right. So just a little extra on that, and don't forget this video of this whole meeting and those piecemeal videos that I made are always available on our website for you as a vendor. So if you want to go and show some of your crew later on, you can have one of your meetings at work and say, guys, I want to show you a couple 5-minute sections and tell me what you think about it. Maybe you'll get some great ideas from your guys and girls at the shop that have some great ideas on how to design the booth. So go over them with them, and you can even use it as a safety tip. So it's a safety training video. Anyway, those are always available for you whenever you want as a member of NJLCA. And thanks again, people. I really appreciate you coming on. I know you guys are busy and spending some time with us. Hopefully you pulled something out of it today.
I hope you did. I just want to share with you myself something that we find is important. The more people we get there, whether they're your customers or somebody else's customers, the better it is for everybody. So we ask that you also market the show. We will market the heck out of it, but you have contacts that we don't have. So I just want to share with you something that, you know, we had a couple of our members, which one was Bobcat, able to send out. For instance, today they sent this out. If I can share that. Hang on one sec. Oh, here's my glitch, Pat. Hang on.
Oh, don't worry.
Okay, there we go.
Well,
So this one was sent out by Bobcat today. It advertises the show, but it also advertises Bobcat. So they get some publicity, we get some publicity. So you can do something like that. I also have one from Brain that did this last year for our trade show. Which are you seeing that, Joe? I'm sorry.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep.
we're seeing-
All right. So again, something simple, but it advertises the show and it advertises for Brain, and everybody gets the best of it. And the more customers there, the better it is for everybody. So I do hope that.
Oh, hold on, Gail. You can add that anywhere. It doesn't have to be a single e-blast. You can put that little advertisement on the bottom of your regular correspondence emails every day when you send them to your clients. If you have a counter where you are and you're selling, help us by putting some stuff out on the counter. And NJLCA provides that. They provide you with cards, 3x5s, posters, banners, whatever you need, we'll make it for you. And you don't have to spend a dime on it. And you'll help us advertise it, which will bring people to your booth.
Right. All right. I think that's everything. Kevin, do you have any last words?
No, I'm pretty good. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Pat. Everything was great. I appreciate the presentation. That was my first time seeing those videos as well. So I appreciate it. It was funny, and I appreciate you guys putting that together. And yeah, obviously, anybody that's on this call and all others that are coming to the show as far as vendors, we're here for you guys. So whatever you need, contact us before the show, setup day of the show, whatever it is. We're here to support you and bring bring everybody into this show so we can get more business. That's what we're all about, trying to increase business for everybody that's coming to our show. So thank you very much, and have a great day.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We got you out of here in less than 45 minutes.
Excellent.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
See you
See you
soon.
at the show.